If you've always wanted to learn how to make your Sims game look more aesthetic, then this video is perfect for you because today I'm going to be teaching you how to install lighting mods as well as gshade, and I'm going to be showing off my newest gshade preset with you all. So if you want to learn all of this, keep watching this video. The first two lighting mods I highly recommend are the No Blue and the No Glow mod by Lumia. Now these two mods are luckily really easy to download. All you have to do is scroll down a little bit and choose which link you want to download it from, and you would just put this in your mods folder like you would with custom content. Now the next lighting mod is super beautiful, but it is a little bit more complicated to install. We are going to install Milk Thistle by Softer Haze, and this is not really a regular mod. You're actually going to be changing the in-game files. The first thing we're going to do is scroll down a little bit and click this download button right here, and then once it's downloading, we're going to extract it. I also highly recommend the installation tutorial because it comes with a really neat info that you will need later. So once the file is done downloading, let's go ahead and extract these files. So after you're done extracting these files, we're gonna open another folder. To find this folder, it is where you installed the Sims game. So for most people, including myself, The Sims 4 was installed in my local disk C drive, Origin Games, and The Sims 4. So once you have this folder all good to go, let's now open the Milk Thistle folder. So in the Milk Thistle folder, we have Data and Delta. Data is the base game, so we're gonna start with that. So let's both click Data, and if you can see here, there's two shared files. What we're gonna do is click on this, click again and click again, and then do the same thing on the Sims 4 folder over here. And then in the Milk Thistle folder, we're gonna go ahead and copy and then paste it to the Sims 4 folder over here, and it will prompt you to either replace the file, skip the files, or let me decide. Replace these files. You are going to want to replace these files, so make sure to replace it. And done! You have installed the first world. If you have multiple packs, this is where we're going to go into the Delta folder. So go ahead and click the Delta folder in the Milk Thistle folder, as well as the Delta folder in the Sims 4 folder. Now, I know this looks really intimidating with all these different folders, but that's why I mentioned earlier to get the installation instructions from Softer Haze, because they have provided us what number corresponds to which pack. So for example, expansion pack 1 is Get to Work. So if you have Get to Work, we're going to go ahead and replace the Get to Work files. So click on the number 1 folder in the Milk Thistle folder, as well as the Sims 4 folder, just like that. Click Worlds on the Milk Thistle and get to this section right here, and do the same with the Sims 4 folder. Go to the area section, and just like you did with the base game folder, we're gonna go ahead and copy and paste and replace the files, just like that. And if you are confused with what number is which pack, go ahead and pause here and take a look at which pack corresponds to which number. From there, you would just continue to copy and paste the files to which packs you have. So for someone like me who has all the packs, I'm gonna go ahead and replace all of the files with the Milk Thistle files and copy and paste. And you would basically do that over and over again until you are done pasting all the files that you need to paste. But if you don't have a certain pack, just simply ignore the folder that has the pack that you don't own. That is how we install lighting mods. Now that you have successfully installed lighting mods, it's time to install gshade. So the first thing what we're gonna do is go to their website. And don't worry, I'll be providing all the links that you need down in the description below or pinned down in the comments. Now that we're at their website, I personally use a Windows computer, so I'm gonna go ahead and click the Windows button. But unfortunately, I have been told by my Mac friends that gshade does not work for The Sims 4 on Mac. So once the installer is done downloading, we're gonna go ahead and click it. This is going to pop up, but don't worry, everything is okay, everything is safe. So what we're gonna do is click more info and press run anyway. And now this should pop up. We're gonna go ahead and click yes. And now after all that, this should be the first thing that pops up. You can go ahead and select which language you would like. I will just continue with English, and then we're just gonna click agree. And then now it is time to find where we want to install gshade. So the easiest way for me to find the correct file location, I personally just right click the Sims 4 icon and I will click open file location. And then it should bring you to the exact folder it's installed at. And don't be confused with the other bin folder, which is bin_le. This is mainly for 32-bit computers, but most of us have a 64-bit, so we're going to continue using the regular bin folder. So let's go ahead and copy this address and then click browse, and then we're going to paste it up here. And then we're going to click the Sims 4 icon that you see down here and make sure it's the TS4_X64. And we're going to click open. We're going to move on and click next. So once we click next, there's going to be a lot of options. For the first one, it should be on 64-bit. And then for me, this was on DXVK, where we're going to go ahead and change that to DirectX 9. And then for hooking, we're going to keep that on normal. And then for optional, I'm going to turn all of these on except for enable desktop update reminder. And then I'm just going to personally ignore all of the Final Fantasy presets because, well, we're not playing Final Fantasy. So I'm going to go ahead and ignore that. And now we wait for it to all install. So now gshade was successfully installed, but now it gives you this pop-up so you can choose where you want to send your screenshots to. For me, I personally like having it in my electronic arts folder and in the Sims 4 screenshots folder. So I'm gonna just leave it as that. But you do have an option to make a new folder. So if you'd like to do that, you can do that as well. And then once you click finish, this should pop up and I'm gonna go ahead and click no. And gshade has been successfully installed. Now it's time for the fun part. We are going to be downloading my newest gshade preset called Rose Milk Tea, and you can find it in the description of this video or pinned down in the comments below. Once you get to this point, we're gonna go ahead and click download, and it's gonna take you to Sims File Share. And don't worry, every time you install a preset, your computer is going to say that it can harm your computer, but don't worry, this happens to all the gshade presets, so we're gonna go ahead and just click keep. And now we're going to go ahead and install the gshade preset. What we're going to do is go ahead and open the gshade control panel. And I found the fastest way of getting to that folder is by going to installations and by clicking this folder right here. And where it says gshade presets, that is where we're going to go ahead and put the preset that we just downloaded. And for me, I made my own custom folder called reshade presets. So I'm gonna go ahead and open that and drag the preset to this folder. And now we get to go in the game and see this preset in action. Now, if your game took forever to open, don't worry, mine did too. But once your game has finally opened, we can now open the gshade panel. And if you've installed gshade for the first time, that should be Shift F2. And if that doesn't work, try clicking Fn with Shift F2. If the gshade preset did not show up, then make sure that up here we are in the gshade presets folder. Then find the folder that you installed the preset in, and mine would be in the reshade presets folder. And then I'm going to go ahead and click Rose Milk Tea up there. And now some personal settings that I like changing. So for my overlay key, which is to open the gshade panel, I changed this to the insert button. I find it so much easier to open and close with the insert button. For the shader toggle key, I have it on F9. What this does is it turns off gshade off and on, just like this. So I like using it for like quick before and after pictures. And then we can go ahead and go to the screenshots section. And for the screenshot key, I personally like to have it on print screen. If you don't like the red color theme that you see here, you can actually change it under the user interface area. My favorite theme is the Kupai's Pink Sugar, and this is what it looks like. It's so cute, so pretty, but there's plenty of other themes that y'all can explore yourself, and I just love the customization of that. So yeah, and once we got all that, we can go ahead and jump into the game and see the preset in action. So now we are finally in the game, and your game should look like this instead of this. This is my Rose Mix Tea G-Shade preset on with MXAO, and if your game is lagging a little bit with MXAO on, I highly recommend turning it off. So to turn that off, you would just click Control and 4 at the same time, and then this is what the game looks like without the little shadows, and now your game should perform better during gameplay. But if you want to take those really nice pretty pictures, to do that you would press Shift 4, and then this blurring effect should happen. And if you are just taking screenshots, I highly recommend turning on shadows again, so that way your sims have more depth, and this is what it should look like. Again, this is without G-Shade on, and this is with my G-Shade on with the shadows and with the blurring effect. Now, if your blurring effect doesn't really work properly, then make sure to turn off edge smoothing in your game options. I always have this off so that way the shadows and the blur effect works properly. So again, this is my Rose Milk Tea preset with it off and with it on, with shadows on and shadows off, and then with blur and then without blur. And that's basically it. So I hope this video helped you out today, and if you still have some questions for me, or if things aren't working, definitely let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to help you as best as I can. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.